I'm about to cancel my stream, y'all. I tried another stream on there, and it kicked me right on out. I'm paying too much money a month to be getting kicked out. So, anyway, I'm tired of them. How y'all doing this morning? Actually, I'm getting kind of sleepy. So we gonna get off into Malcolm Jamal Warner. You know, do my reading and then the videos. Some people are saying that he is a Felicia Rashard sacrifice. Some are saying he's a Bill Cosby sacrifice. It's just very suspicious. Some people are saying his wife is in on it. But I personally think, allegedly, because it's my opinion, I think it's Bill Cosby. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when Enos Cosby was unalive in the 90s, that was his sacrifice of his son. You know what, matter of fact, let me look up let me see what they saying. Let's see what they saying. We're going to do Enos. And I think it is Bill Cosby. It happened in 1997. And he was killed by a Russian. Ain't that? I mean, the whole thing was strange. And this is before I even knew. I always knew that they did sacrifices and things of that nature back in 97. And he was a doctoral student. Mm, the dark side of Hollywood. I'm about to see what they saying. Let me see what they saying.
Right. Here I am in Nashville, in a parking lot. Why in a parking lot? Because it's loud everywhere else. So I had to come to a park. Still kind of loud. Just want to give an update on what I do on my channel. For people that don't know, I upload usually Wednesdays, Sundays, twice a week. I've been doing Tuesday, Thursday,
This
Sunday
is Scott
for a while
on
now.
tape.
Probably go back to that, but right now,
This is
just do Wednesday, Sunday.
Bill Cosby
And,
first
well, you know,
sacrificed
I'm
his
sure
son
gonna go 3 days a
Enos,
week again,
allegedly.
very shortly, probably next week. I don't know. Two
Let
to
me
three
see
times
what he's saying.
murdered. Now there's gonna be a lot of hate towards Bill Cosby, rightfully so. The man's a monster. This video is about Enos Cosby and the dark side of Hollywood. I said on my another earlier video that I'm going to do the dark side of Hollywood every now and again. This is an example of it. It's a tragic death, and it's a part of LA history, which is what I'm into. LA and pop culture and history is not really pop culture. It's a
Let me
sad,
get
tragic
myself
event.
together.
So I'm sure there'll be lots of hate written in the comments, possibly about Bill Cosby. I get it. If the hate's directed towards me, okay. But it's just an interesting video and sad So I try to keep
This
it.
is Bill Cosby's first sacrifice. Thank you
know,
for hitting the
low
like
key.
button. Thank you.
I think
I
saved
hope
that
you
on the video too.
subscribe.
Anyway, so here's a video I made a while ago in LA, and hope you like it. Hope you subscribe.
Okay,
Keep
you
watching.
talk so much.
More
Just
videos
get to
coming.
the point.
Most of them are gonna be fun topics. 'Cause I'm a fan. And although I can't help my personality, I'm gonna try to tone it down a little. And hope you can hear me well. And I'm gonna leave Bill Cosby out of this. We all know who Bill Cosby really is now. We all know exactly. Oh, that's wet, the car that I just leaned up against. It's rainy in Southern California.
You just did a live. How come? You know why I don't get your notifications? Because you're not in the algorithm. You got to start dropping at least 2-3 videos a day. You really do. And you should have texted me or something. So I could have came over there and support you the way you support me. Hey, I ain't got that many cigarettes left. But the first sacrifice was Bill Cosby, was his son. And I do believe Malcolm Jamal Warner was his sacrifice.
We all know about Bill Cosby. We all know who he really is. I'm not going to get into that. I'm talking about Ennis Cosby, his son. He was murdered right here where I'm standing. Right in this very stretch of road.
Okay,
There's a robbery
thank
gone
you.
wrong. He's a young guy, 19 years old, with a almost unpronounceable name, and I wouldn't even say his name anyways because he's a scumbag because he murdered someone. But it happened right here.
He was Russian. That was the first thing that stood out when Ennis Cosby passed away by a Russian on the highway changing his tire.
And what happened was, he got a
This
flat tire,
is
he pulled
Scott
over
on
right
tape.
there. That's the 405 freeway in Los Angeles. It's Sepulveda Boulevard right there. He pulled off.
Right there.
Here, called his friend. A woman came and helped him and was behind him, illuminating him so he could change the tire.
Oh, this the woman, huh?
And I guess the guy came up to him out of nowhere, somewhere around here. I don't know how. Like, there's nothing around here. So the guy was on foot. That's weird.
Facts.
Apparently asked him for a pack of cigarettes, or no, sorry, for a cigarette. Because when they found Ennis Cosby, he was lying on the ground right here with a pack of cigarettes in his hand. He shot him in the head, killed him. And there's a little memorial right here for Ennis Cosby on the side of the road. And I thought I'd show it to you. People still come out here and leave stuff for Ennis Cosby.
That's a fact therapy.
Stuff like this, toys. And there was a cross here. It's kind of gone now. But this big plant was installed on the side of the road. And here it is.
Wow. And the plant is still there from 1997. Let me see what you said. He recording with a potato. What are you talking about? I don't know what you done. Hey, Hugh.
It's because, well, I just want him. But yeah, this marks the spot where Ennis Cosby was shot and killed. He was a good person from everything that I read about him, everything that he had saying, hello, friend. That was what he liked to say to people. Hello, friend. And actually, Bill Cosby's daughter just died recently, too, at a young age, 44, I believe.
She did. That's right, she did. I forgot.
Shot to death right here.
I think she had cancer. I'm going to have to look into that because this is not what we talk about. I'm speculating and saying that the first sacrifice was Ennis Cosby, his son, allegedly. Oh, he's talking about the audio? Oh, okay.
This This is a little bit of a morbid video, but I've known about this for so long, and I've passed this so many times and never been able to stop because there's major traffic in this area, like crazy traffic. But right now, on a rainy night, there's not a lot. So the guy eventually was at work, and he was bragging about the fact that he killed.
You know what? Let me do this. I ain't even do, oh, okay. I know what I want. Let me get out of that. So Enos Cosby, he passed on January 16th, 1997, on the side of the road changing a tire. And he was unalive, shot in the back of the head. The guy asked him for a cigarette. The Russian guy. Can't say his name. And we know Bill Cosby is Black Boule. Remember how he used to go around and talk about us black folk, going around giving a tour. I mean, some of the stuff he said was true about us. It was, but he was Black Boule. Enos graduated. He was working on his doctorate degree. He studied at Morehouse and then at Teachers College at Columbia University. And he had dyslexia. Enos Cosby is quoted as saying, "I believe in chances, so I don't give up on people or children." And he was a teacher, and this is Enos Cosby. I'm saying that's the first sacrifice I know about. And the guy's name was Mikhail. Oh, shoot. Oh, God, I hope this because I'm on my phone. Mikhail Markasov, an 18-year-old immigrant from Ukraine. I thought he was Russian, so he was Ukrainian. Marskov and his friends had been hanging out at a nearby park and ride a lot when they saw Enos and Crane's car. He went to Crane's car first, alarmed. She drove away. So she got scared. She drove away. The white lady that he called to come help him, she just left him there. Then he went to confront Enos, but when he was too slow to hand over his money, he shot him in the head. So that's all I'm saying about that. Okay, now let's bring it up to date. Now, they said that Jamal Malcolm drowned in the ocean, but he died of asphyxia, of being smothered. That's what they said. Right, I get that therapy, but I'm trying to just show a pattern. Police say Malcolm Jamal Warner wasn't in the water with his daughter when he drowned. That was the first alarm that this was a sacrifice, as far as I'm concerned. Let me put this on battery. Hold on. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Initial reports stated that Malcolm Jamal Warner was in the water with his 8-year-old daughter at the Costa Rica beach when he accidentally drowned, but officials say he was not in the water. That's the first clue for me that something was up. As previously reported by Face to Face Africa, Warner 54 was dragged by the water current and drowned at Playa Grande in Limon, Costa Rica. The Caribbean Guard wrote Monday. Well, this is when this article. The nation's volunteer lifeguard group also stated there was no lifeguard on duty at the time of the incident. How ironic is that? Mr. Warner was playing with his daughter at the seaside at one point. He then let her out of the water, and he and a friend of his entered the sea. He was with a friend. Some say his wife was in on this. It was at that moment they were swept away by a current, and the friend managed to get out. How ironic is that? However, Mr. Warner was unable to get out and was pulled out by several people on the beach. He received care from Red Cross. Warner underwent an autopsy, and his cause of death, like I said, was accidental asphyxiation by submersion. He suffocated. The deceased 54-year-old is survived by his wife and daughter. The medical director told the news outlet that a Nicaraguan man who attempted to save Warner was later treated and found to be stable and was discharged without complications. We're going to get into these videos, but I'm going to read some of this. This is, and I used to love that show. There you go. Theo. Some of this stuff I'm not going to read. Let me see. Cosby also told NBC News that Warner called him regularly. Cosby's agent, Andrew Wyatt, claimed in a statement to TMZ, because it ain't true if it ain't on TMZ, and USA Today, that Warner had last contacted Cosby ahead of a performance at a venue in Minneapolis several weeks ago. Wyatt added that Warner's death reminded Cosby of the death of his own son, Ennis, that I just talked about, who was unalived in 1997 during a failed robbery attempt. Cosby interactions with Enos inspired the character of Theodore Huxtable. Tracy Ellen Ross said, "I love you, Malcolm. First I met you as Theo with the rest of the world. Then you were my first TV husband," Ross wrote on Instagram. "My heart is so, so sad. What an actor and friend you were." Blah, 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 blah. Then Al Roker, he had some words. He said he was heartbroken. Um, I'm not going to read any of this. And see, everybody saying he drowned. I just don't see how drown and asphyxiation go together. I, I just, okay, I'm deleting the stuff on my phone. Okay, let me see. I just see most of this. I'm not reading none of that. He found love. The 54-year, let me see. Okay, I ain't gonna read that. He was married at the time of his sudden death. The identity of Warner's wife is unknown since he chose to keep her away from the public eye. "I wasn't sure if I would ever get married or have kids. I think because growing up, I knew myself well enough to know that I was not going to get married and give a woman half of my shit." I get that. So after being in a relationship for 6 years, I spent the next 2 years like a man who had been in a relationship for 6 years. I went on this hiatus like cold turkey, like no dating, no sex, no relationships. So I was in this space and I met my wife through a mutual friend. And because I was on this hiatus, I was like, I'm not really dating. And our mutual friend was like, well, one date won't hurt. Hand me that pen right there. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of this. Before marrying his wife, Warner dated a few other high profile women. Michelle Thomas, who played his girlfriend in The Huxtables, Karen White, and Regina King. I didn't know he had dated Regina King. Karen White accused of disrespecting Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife with a flirty tribute. He had a wife, sis, but we not gonna get off into that. At least I can get this stuff off my phone. Oh, he went to with Michelle Time, and remember, she died suddenly off that show. She passed away. Now that's what I believe therapy. I believe that they they smothered him and threw him in the water. Now I believe that. And his first girlfriend on the Cosby Show was that Bill Cosby's second sacrifice, Michelle, because she was unalive during the time of the show, played as Malcolm's girlfriend, and they broke up in 1994. They never disclosed what led to their split, though they both were working on growing their careers at the time. And she died in 1998. Enos died in 1997. Michelle, who played Mount, died in 1998. I got to see where she died. Oh, here it is. Michelle ultimately died of an illness in 1998 at 30 years old. Malcolm flew to New York from Los Angeles to be with her at her Manhattan's Memorial Cancer Center. Oh, she had cancer. And this is her. That's her. Yeah, I can put, yeah, sometimes I can put some pieces together. When Malcolm died a decade after posting a tribute to Michelle, her official Instagram sent a touching message in memories of her friend. Now, here another article. When it came to Bill Cosby, Malcolm Jamal Warner wasn't shy about making his opinions known. And they talk about when those allegations came out that sent Cosby to prison blind and later drawn out. That was the humiliation ritual. They sent him to prison blind. He got out, and it was all thrown out. Everything was thrown out. That was the humiliation ritual. Y'all remember Jaleel? Who did he play? Urkel. Urkel. he gave a tribute. He said he was at a loss of words, so we're not getting off into all this. He said Malcolm and I were industry peers. I can't even say that like I grew up looking up to him. He was ahead of me in the game. I'm kind of waiting for more details to come out because it's just a very disturbing report. Just accidentally this. You kind of caught me at a loss of words. Right. You know what's up, Urkel. Regina King, she gave a touching tribute to him. And her son was also unalived in a suicide, right? Alleged. Yeah. Regina King said she and Malcolm Jamal Warner's romance came at a perfect time when she had lost her son. After 2 years of dating and living together, Malcolm and Regina left fans heartbroken when they called it quits. The couple didn't discuss their breakup, but the Watchmen star shut down any rumors that there was any bad blood between them. What you say? Oh, let me see. Yeah, jealous humiliation. Why do you think I be on their ass about trying to lock me? Right. Then they say Malcolm Jamal Warner's daughter was miraculously saved after being dragged by ocean current. Now, this is the first report of that, because the coroner's report is that he was not in the water when he died. So they threw her in the water too. The 8-year-old daughter was miraculously saved by surfers in Costa Rica after they were swept in a riptide. Two people who were there at the location went in with a surfboard and a bougie board to help rescue Malcolm and his daughter. They managed to stay with the girl, but not with Malcolm. Boy, they know how to twist some stuff up, don't they? Oh no, this is, no, I already went through that. Hold on. Oh, I need to talk about money bag, yo. Okay, let me get to this July 28th. Hold up, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Oh, this TMZ, and TMZ reported that it was an accidental drowning. So I'm just trying to compare. You just refilled your drink again? All right now. So I'm not, let me see what TMZ said. I'm not. Now TMZ said he was rescued by bystanders. There's so many different reports about his death. Warner died of asphyxiation after he was caught in a high tide in the ocean. I'm with you. That did not happen. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They threw him in that water. I'm with you on that one, Therapy. Hold on, let me make sure that's it. I want to make sure I get all this. I'm just trying to see if it's anything different in these articles that I got. Now dig this report. That's why I know it's a sacrifice. Look at this. Malcolm Jamal Warner's drowning incident involves second man who is now in critical condition. They said his friend that was with him was treated and released. But who is this second man in critical condition? A second man was rescued from the water and remains in critical condition after a water-related incident was reported at the Playground Resort. There were attempts to do CPR on Malcolm, but then the autopsy said he wasn't in the water. No water in the lung. Right. Facts, Therapy. Facts. The Costa Rican Red Cross said 2 people were dragged by the water current, and both patients were no longer in the water when the paramedics got there. That's why all these stories are conflicting. So then they flew his body back to LA. After receiving treatment, he was stabilized and discharged without any major injuries. The 29-year-old man from Nicaragua was reportedly involved in the rescue, which we said that. They not giving the second man name. Let me get rid of all this stuff. Because I be having so much. I'll be so glad when I can delete this stuff off my phone. And I'm not reading it all. Keisha Knight gave a nice tribute to him. I lost my big brother but gained an angel. She paid little Rudy. And I'm not reading all this. Oh, I got so much. I'm deleting. Morris Chestnut sent a nice tribute. Okay, you saying there's no second man? They threw him in. No, I agree with you on that. I'm just reading what these reports say. Yeah, Rudy did do porn. She did. I think that's all I got for that day. I'm gonna have to put this phone on the charger, so I'm about to move this phone and lay it down. I got to see, because, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Hold on, let me get my charger. Oh, oh, shoot. Oh. All right, hold on. So this how I'm gonna do it like this, because we gotta get into the video. All right, y'all can still see me cool while my phone charge. Hold on. Therapy, is StreamYard still tripping with you? Right, notice nobody came out good from the Cosby Show. I think Felicia Rashad, but you know what? You right about that. You know what? You saying something about that. Okay, let's get into these videos until my phone charge. Then I'll be able to move this. Yeah, it's down to 10%. Hold on. Because StreamYard still tripping for me. This is Malcolm's last message.
Jamal Warner, dead at the age of 54, on a drowning accident while he was vacationing with his family in Costa Rica.
I am tired of running for shade. And aren't you tired of being hustled and played? And aren't we all tired of crying about how hard it is to be black in America, even if it looks like we've got it made?
Has this been difficult for you?
Yeah. Because when you watch someone who you know and love, go through what he's going through.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, the beloved actor who rose to fame as Theo Huxtable, is gone. And his final message? It wasn't just a goodbye. It was a warning.
And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile.
And now that he's passed, people are starting to ask the real questions. Why wasn't anyone listening? Why does it feel like every time someone speaks out, do they end up silenced?
But freedom has its limits, so here we are, tear-streaked and salt-stained faces. Traces of trauma and pain lace our DNA like our black pride is cut and laced with self-hate.
Was this just another tragedy? Or part of a pattern that's getting too hard to ignore? Let's get into it. Malcolm Jamal Warner's sudden death has left fans in shock, and others in deep suspicion. The 54-year-old actor, beloved for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, reportedly drowned while...
Well, it's not working at all for me. That's why I'm using my phone.
...with his family in Costa Rica. Authorities claim it was a tragic accident, a drowning caused by strong currents off the coast of Cocles Beach in Lyman.
Reports that the 54-year-old was in Costa Rica on a family vacation.
You know what, you nuts. I stay speed is something. Look at my wife and my baby mama. You crazy.
Accidentally drowned while swimming.
The Associated Press reported that the local police initially reported that Warner was rescued by people on the beach. But first responders from Costa Rica's Red Cross found him without vital signs, and he was taken to the morgue. But the story doesn't...
Now you see that? Now that's the fourth one. They found him with no vitals, and he was taken to the morgue. He was never in the water. This is the fourth different story. Wow. Wow. Yeah, he was a sacrifice. Bill Cosby, allegedly. My opinion.
With everyone. The timing, the circumstances, and, most disturbingly, the message he left behind just days before his death. All of it feels too eerie to ignore. Warner wasn't just on vacation. He was on a mission. A mission to tell the truth.
Can you tell me the fate of the people who consciously take the bait and embrace the very traits placed upon them by their captors, who by design are inclined to keep them believing they're second rates? I'll wait.
In the final episode of his podcast, Not All Hood, released just 2 days before his passing, Warner delivered what fans are now calling his farewell message in disguise. And what he spoke about wasn't lighthearted or surface level. It was raw. It was urgent. And it was deeply personal. Warner reflected on a recent exchange he had with spoken word artist Tamika Georgia Mee Harper, who challenged his podcast's title. When he told her it was called Not All Hood, she immediately interrupted, "Ain't nothing wrong with the hood." That brief comment sent Warner down a spiral of reflection. He realized that the media has long sold one version of black culture.
Facts. Facts.
While ignoring
Facts.
the richness, the nuance, and the power behind it.
You know, the reason for the title is combating the narrative of black life or black culture that the media focuses on.
He wasn't distancing himself from the hood. He was calling out the system that exploits and misunderstands it. In his own words, the hood side, ultimately, historically, is what has always created American culture. That's not just a cultural observation.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
the truth about appropriation, invisibility, and stolen legacy. A truth Hollywood has spent decades trying to silence. But Warner didn't stop there. He also got personal about how his views on terms like black excellence had evolved. Once skeptical of the phrase because of its attachment to fame and wealth, Warner said a conversation about black soldiers being erased from Arlington National Cemetery's historical records changed his perspective. Black survival in of itself is black excellence, he said. Not fame, not awards, not money.
We're not all hood. The black community is not a monolith.
Facts.
There's so many levels and lanes to the black community, and we want to have a
I'm on my phone. I don't know how you do it. How you do it when you're on your phone? I'm not on StreamYard. StreamYard has been messing up. I don't know how to do it on my phone. I don't know. Look on the side. I don't know. I have no idea.
where we could acknowledge, discuss all of those lanes.
Just survival. That line hit hard then, and it hits even harder now, knowing how suddenly his own life was cut short. It's almost as if Warner sensed something, as if he knew his time was limited, and he wanted his final message to center the truth of black endurance, struggle, and resilience. And just like that, within 48 hours of dropping this powerful, vulnerable conversation, he was gone. For a whole
Wow. They did not want that truth out. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go to the next one because I got to get to the good ones. This might be a 2-hour one. Oh, shoot, it's 2:20. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me get rid of this one. All right, let me see. Oh, damn. I need to get rid of this one. It ain't over. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is
Interviews
introvert rock
continue to
star.
pour in after the tragic death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, famous for playing Theodore Huxtable on The Cosby Show.
And now we're learning more about his death. ABC's Jacqueline Lee has more from Los Angeles.
Costa Rican authorities releasing this image of the scene where actor Malcolm Jamal Warner's body was found. The 54-year-old drowned in Costa Rica Sunday while on a family vacation.
With police saying that.
Don't like black people, black issues, black talks. Get the step. Warren's family says he went for a solo swim just after sunrise to the Costa Rican resort where he was staying. An hour passed without his return, prompting his wife to contact authorities out of concern. Officials later discovered his body near a rocky core area, approximately 100 to 200
I'm gonna go past that too, because we know that.
You know, a bitch or a hoe. Like that's become we've normalized that so much that I think we need a space where we can say, wait a minute, that's not all who we are. And not to be on some corny shit, but I think we do need to balance out the stereotypical side of what the media tends to focus on.
And like I always say, make that make sense. See, Malcolm had a podcast called Nah, Not All Hood. And he really talked about some deep topics. And one of the topics he constantly talked about was hip-hop and how it dumbed our people down. You think those record labels wanted him saying,
it was no water in his
anti-black? Hell no, that's messing with their money. I keep telling y'all, the game is cold, but the rabbit hole gets even deeper. Check this out. While it doesn't appear that Malcolm Jamal Warner had a direct lawsuit against Hollywood as a whole, he was impacted by the controversy surrounding Bill Cosby, the star of The Cosby Show, in which Warner also starred. Warner expressed that the allegations against Cosby had tarnished the show's legacy, which had been important for representing people of color on television. He also noted that there were financial repercussions for the cast and crew due to the fallout. Warner did, however, express the opinion that consequences faced by Cosby were unbalanced when compared to other public figures who had faced accusations of the assault.
Facts.
He also stated that while he was not in a position to defend Cosby, he wouldn't throw him under the bus either. Make that make sense. And just imagine the amount of money he was making from those royalties from that show. Of course he was suing, and y'all call me crazy all you want, but I noticed the patterns of Hollywood when they go against our people, when they say our people are dead, when they say black American celebrities are dead. It's always they overdose. It's always they drown. It's always they deleted themselves. Tell me I'm lying. And it's 2025. You telling me we don't have no videos of the incident. We don't have no pictures of the incident. We don't even, they said it was 2 people that tried to save him. Where are those 2 people? Can we have an interview?
Facts.
It's 2025.
Facts.
Guess what? The rabbit hole goes even deeper. Check this out. And before I read this, I'm not condoning no weird behavior from nobody, but I have to call out the tactics that Hollywood uses against our people. Check this out. Before the essay assault, and I can't say the word because of YouTube guidelines, but you know what I mean. The essay, and I'm going to just add assault just to give you a context clue. But let's go. Before the essay assault allegations became public, Bill Cosby was the creator, producer, and star of several television shows, including The Bill Cosby Show, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Yeah.
Cosby Show, A Different World, Cosby. Kids say the darnest things, and Little Bill, make that make sense. Now, Bill Cosby owned all those shows, and I know it was a running joke that he was going to purchase NBC, but nah, he was really going to purchase NBC. And when those people in so-called position of power, when they heard that, they destroyed his whole career.
They sure did.
By design.
That's a fact.
On purpose, and now he owns nothing. But how ironic, we have a felon and a predator as the president of the United States. Make it make sense. And I'm saying over and over and over again, y'all can call me crazy all you want, but I see the patterns of Hollywood. They do it every time. They did the Whitney Houston, Phyllis Hyman, Prince, Michael Jackson, Sam Cooke. I can go on and on. And don't tell me anything about he was in Costa Rica. Why would they unalive him and he was in Costa Rica? Have you ever heard of Left Eye? She was in Honduras in a car with 8 other people. It had 9 people in the car. She was the only one to get
that died.
They'll catch you wherever you at. You least expect it. Angie Stone, it was 9 people in a van. After she went to the internet and saying that Clive Davis, these record labels owe her money. They've been stealing money from her over 30 years. Guess what happened? In a van with 8 other people, she made the 9th person. She was the only one to die. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, the game is cold.
Y'all gotta go look at my video, Angie Stone, The Sacrifice. Yep, that was no accident. I might have to make a part 2. Let me see, hold on. I'm standing up so my phone can charge. I don't want it to go out. I'm looking for this next video. You say, look at your wife and them, huh? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. 24, 26, 22, 24, 26. Okay. I'm still on 20. Okay. Oh, let me see. Okay, here we go. Found this next one.
Malcolm Jamal Warner. Now,
This is
I
the
thought I had covered
Anton
this today, except that it
Daniels.
needed to be covered the other day.
You listen to Boosie Collins?
New detail has been emerged, and somebody sent me his last video that he posted to people, or to his followers, or to his fans, or to anybody that was rocking with him. They sent me the last video, and so I'm going to share that with you guys, and then we're going to deep dive into
I like
the
Anton.
details of what
Let me
happened.
see. He's from Detroit.
You see these demons and you see these devils running around and time with each other at night, because we literally, because he was the main. What do y'all keep asking me to come home for?
I'm gonna delete this. No, we not watching that. No, because he's saying what everything the media was saying, and we know the media is fake news, propaganda. So no, we not listening to that. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to get to this next one. What time is it? Yeah, I'm probably going to have to do a part 2. Well, at least my phone finally green. I can sit down in a minute. I'm going to let it keep charging. Hold on. $26. Okay, here we go with Eddie Griffin, what he had to say. Oh, we damn sure ain't gonna listen to all this, but let me see if we can get to the good of it.
You got 607 unk. What the hell is that? A bumbling idiot, a fool. They give us our Charleston Whites and 607 unks, and they give us our you're
This
born
new
into
breed.
a war. Let your sons and daughters know about their legacy.
This new breed.
About where they came from. Because if you let the masses raise them, if you let the media raise them, they're gonna be confused. They're gonna believe the stereotypes that are perpetuated.
I'm on my phone, not on my computer.
Thank you. She said, speak that truth to the masses, new by the CIA. They all ran by agencies.
Facts.
Let me talk to you. Why? To promote psychological warfare.
It's a psyop.
They want you to see people who look like you acting like animals. Because why? You dehumanize a group of individuals, particularly marginalized individuals. You dehumanize them before you engage, and you destroy them.
Facts. Facts.
And you still wondering if we at war or not. Yeah, we at war. And Malcolm was speaking out, and we gonna speak out. Because we're not for sale. Let's go. But Eddie saw this coming. He's been documenting this pattern for years, warning that the machine always has a final solution when reputation destruction fails.
You're not going to die clean.
I mean, everything that Bill Cosby has built up, the deck.
You said you're not gonna die clean. And if you are clean, if they can't get nothing on you, if they can't set you up, if you stand set apart from filthiness, they still coming.
Facts.
Because that's how war works. They can't just let our soldiers walk free.
Decades of work that he stood behind.
The man has, single-handedly,
If you want to get your name, phone number, and address off the internet, but want to handle the removals yourself,
sent a bunch of brothers and sisters to college.
Malcolm Jamal Warner was building something too dangerous to ignore. His podcast, Not All Hood, challenged every stereotype the industry profits from. Now, peep what he just said. Peep Not All Hood, Malcolm Jamal Warner's podcast. It challenged every negative stereotype that was coming from the industry. So he was image reclamation. He was trying to reclaim our image.
Facts.
He was challenging
Facts.
the status quo. He was pushing an envelope. He was fighting. You cannot think for a second that this did not go unnoticed by the elite. Don't think for a second it went unnoticed. Listen, Malcolm Jamal Warner was too successful for them not to pay attention. So what they did, they J. Edgar Hoovered them.
COINTELPRO
snuffed out the Panthers. Because why? They are terrified of a black Messiah.
Facts. Facts.
They're terrified of it. I'm telling you, man. They snuff out all our greats.
Facts.
And at some point, we got to be sick and tired of it. At some point, we got to get on code. And stop letting these people play with us. See, the grassroots movement of FBA, of image reclamation, it is a threat to the establishment.
Facts.
Because if they can systematically tarnish our image, they lose power over the generations. They want control over our likeness.
Facts. Let me see if I can get
and now there's been a fire ignited. Since Malcolm left, they thought the message was going to die. No, the message ain't dying. The message was just born.
Damn.
Carry on.
Wow, I'm going to end that on that note. I'm going to end this live stream. Therapy, I'm getting ready to go on StreamYard, and I'm going to do part 2 now, and then you can come up. Hopefully, it'll be working fine. So I'm going to end this. I'm coming right back with part 2 on StreamYard.